magandang araw sa inyong lahat at maraming salamat ulit sa panonood. Ngayon ay isang nurse ang ating mga kasama, dating nurse at ngayon ay isa ng ward manager. Maraming salamat, Jo, sa pagpapaunlad ng aming imbitasyon sa iyo.
Walang anuman.
Salamat.
It's a pleasure.
Magkomentuhan lang tayo. So this is one to hopefully inspire people how you got where you are now. Diba? So, umpisa natin sa proseso nung yung childhood mo pag-usapan natin. So gusto ko ikwento mo yung simula sa pagkabata mo.
Okay.
Sa amin. Okay? So, saan lugar? Paano ka pinanganak? Paano ka lumaki?
Pinanganak ako sa bayan ng Digos, now a city in Davao del Sur. So, karatig bayan ng Davao City.
Okay.
So, pinanganak ako by two teachers. Both parents are teachers.
Nice.
So, I grew up really na parang education is very important to me. So that's why nagsumikap na mag-aral. So I graduated valedictorian in elementary and high school, and then graduated nursing in Davao.
Wow.
San Pedro College. It's a very well-known school in Davao and the Philippines as a whole, as a magna cum laude.
Wow.
So I think yun yung basically that's what my parents taught me since I was a child, to just to be to push your limits and to do well in school. So yeah, and I think they're very proud of me for all those things, and I think I did my best because I know how the hardships that they went through just to send me to a very good school and to have a brighter future, kumbaga.
Wonderful. So, ikaw ba panganay? O
yeah, so dalawa kami.
Obviously, growing up with parents with both teachers is tama yung sinasabi mo, parang academically inclined ka, diba? So, yun yun eh. So, ano yung mga nung bata ka pa lang ba, nangarap ka na mag-abroad or hindi pa?
Never talagang dumating sa isip ko na mag-abroad. I didn't really decide on what to do when I was a child. I was like enjoying my childhood, enjoying the process. Parang high school, nauso yung pag-abroad, diba? And nursing was a famous profession. So my relatives, my parents told me, oh, maybe it's better for you so that you can, you know,
parang instead of mag-teacher ka rin, mag-nursing ka na lang.
Yeah, because they know how much a teacher earns. So parang it's not really the best at that moment. So gusto nila na maybe to give me a better future, to live a better life, maging nurse, and then syempre makatulong din sa kanila.
Exactly.
So yun, nag-study ako ng nursing, which I loved actually. Basically on the second year ko, I enjoyed so much because I was interested in biology as well. So human anatomy and physiology really parang ignited my interest in nursing, and then I just did my best and enjoyed as well. So marami talagang hardships during the college years because I wasn't born with a silver spoon.
Yeah.
So syempre teacher, parang basic lang yung income na nila.
Yeah.
So yun, I tried my best as well na and then they had to really struggle paying for my tuition fees.
Kasi mahal, di ba?
Yeah, may times pa na magsasubmit ka ng promissory note para maka-exam ka lang. But then fortunately nalampasan lahat ng struggles.
So nung nag-nursing ka, so you decided to took nursing na course para talagang yun yung foundation mo na
makapag-abroad to help the family.
Ang galing. So yung choice mo na bansa, is it the first choice is the UK or?
No, not really. So to be honest, I started eyeing on different countries, and then ang pinakauna ko talagang gustong puntahan is USA.
Okay.
I think because most of the nurses went to USA at that time. And so I applied to a lot of agencies, and then nag-exam ako ng NCLEX, which is the initial step para nurse ka sa USA.
Okay.
So nakapasa naman, that was 2008. But then there was a big retrogression.
Okay.
So lahat ng mga visas, parang massive halt talaga in releasing the visas for immigrant nurses. From 2008, I think na-lift siya around 2012 and then fully at 2015. So I started looking for other countries, and then Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and UK. And then, well, I decided to go to UK because ito yung convenient at pinakamura ang expenses for me to get here.
Okay. So ano yung proseso? In terms ng application process para mapunta sa UK, obviously you have to get the experience first at Philippines hospitals before you actually get qualified, di ba?
Yeah.
So in terms of experience dun sa pagiging nurse mo, nakagraduate ka na ng nursing, so ano yun, cum laude ka ulit dito? Magna cum laude pa ulit? Hindi na?
Hindi ako nag-study.
Dun sa Philippines. So nung nag-magna ka ulit, high school yon at saka college, parehas?
Yeah.
Okay. So yung being, obviously, getting that title, may naging advantage ba sa'yo sa pag-apply ng trabaho?
Well, not really. So I would... Hindi talaga. Because you will start from scratch as well as along with other applicants. So they will look into your experience, they will look into how you answer the questions, how prepared you are. Kasi it doesn't mean that you're academically prepared, emotionally prepared ka din. So it has to go hand in hand.
So nagtrabaho ka sa Pilipinas after graduating ng college ng nursing. Nagtrabaho ka muna sa hospital, right? To get the experience. In terms of experiences sa Manila or sa Pilipinas, being a nurse, sa Manila ba to o sa Digos?
Sa Digos and Davao yung mga work ko, experience ko.
Oo. Ano yung mga bagay na isang tumatak sa isip mo being a nurse sa Pilipinas na talagang nabaon mo hanggang dito?
Sa Pilipinas kasi, pag nurse ka, parang ikaw na everything. Ikaw na yung janitor, ikaw caterer.
Yeah,
so you have to be a jack of all trades. So parang ganun. Nadala ko din yun siya dito kasi it's similar naman, but although here you have a lot of help naman around the ward. But then if you know how to, troubleshoot so many things.
Knowledge pa rin yun, di ba? No? Pwede kang multitasking na tawag ika.
Parang ganun.
So yun yung isang masasabi mo na proud ka at natutunan mo at nadala mo rito na naging advantage mo yun siguro. Based on experience.
Yeah, based on experience.
Okay. So nung nandito ka na transition-wise, obviously salary-wise, being a nurse sa Pilipinas, alam nating lahat yon na kaya umaalis yung mga nurses sa Pilipinas dahil hindi sapat yung sweldo.
Yeah.
In your case, magkano yung naalala mo na sinweldo mo na pinakamalaki sa Pilipinas being a nurse?
Sa Pilipinas, most of my experience talaga is being a clinical instructor. Nagtuturo ako ng nursing students.
With salary yun, di ba?
With
so,
salary.
Yung salary mo?
I actually chose that one over sa hospital para mas makatulong sa parents kasi mas malaki ang sahod compared sa hospital. Siguro mga 20,000 a month.
Which is not bad. Nasa Pilipinas, 20,000 a month is, decent enough for you to earn that money, di ba? Ilang taon ka nagtrabaho bago ka nakapunta ng UK?
So, I graduated in 2006. I started working right after I passed the board exam. And then I came to UK in 2015. So, that's 9 years.
9 years. So, yung experience mo na yun, simula nung nakagraduate ka ng nurse, as an instructor, clinical instructor, tama ba? Yun yung trabaho mo. Diretso yan.
Both. But initially, kailangan ko mag-hospital muna. So, I started from primary hospital. Yung tipong sa maliit na hospital sa isang town. And then, pumunta ako sa city. Maliit pa din na hospital. And then, secondary hospital. And then, nag-tertiary hospital. And then, turo na.
Nung nandito ka na sa UK, na-feel mo ba na nandito ka na obligasyon mo magpadala sa Pilipinas? Kasi yun yung karamihang OFW eh. So nandito tayo just to help our parents, just to pretty much pay back. Obviously sa pagpapaaral sa'yo, being, di ba? So sila yun eh. Pero in your case ba, naramdaman mo ba na obligasyon mo magpadala sa kanila or something na, no, this is for my future? Ano sa'yo, in your case?
Oh, in my case, it felt like I have the obligation.
Okay.
Siguro, parang, hindi naman nila ako inobliga, but then, it's for me to, like, pay back. At saka, life is not easy back home. So, ayoko naman na mag-enjoy dito. And then, sila But, yeah. So, I think I've been sending almost every month. Since I started.
So you never kind of fail of sending money every month? Which is karamihan sa atin ganun talaga. Maliit man yan, malaki. Still you're sending, you remember them, just give them at least something out of your income from the UK. Which is good. Yun yung tinatawag na kaya nga being OFW, nurses ka man o ano man yung trabaho mo sa ibang bansa na nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas, sa pamilya sa Pilipinas, para sa akin bayani na talaga yun eh, di ba? So that's sacrifices na hindi mo sila nakasama in everything, but then you send money as well for them to help them. Is a good kind of, yun yung karamihan ginagawa natin lahat, di ba?
Yeah.
Sa'yo, ngayon, dito ka na sa'yo, kay fast forward tayo, ano yung unang-unang naging trabaho mo? Obviously, trabaho nurse ka agad sa ospital?
Kasi our nursing in the Philippines, when I came here, hindi pa siya equivalent to nursing here. So I had to do a bridging program. So it's like parang 6 months na study.
Okay.
So I was working as a healthcare assistant while studying.
Okay, so it's not nurse straight away, di ba? Kasi hindi ka pa qualified as a nurse. You have to be able to qualify ng nurse, di ba?
Oo, kailangan ko ng PIN.
Okay. Gaano ka determinado na gawin yung pag-aaral para at least mapunta mo yung mga level na gusto mo? Kasi stages din yan eh, di ba? So the more you study, the more you get your qualifications, obviously, saka magtataas yung promotion.
Yeah.
Oh. So ano yung nagbibigay sa'yo ng motivation para gawin yung mga bagay na yan?
So really is to come here to become a nurse. Yun yung motivation ko. And then, walang urungan. Andito na ako, ibigay na ang lahat. So, yun. At saka, I came with several colleagues na galing sa Pilipinas. So, marami kami.
Okay.
So, it encouraged me as well to push for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Sa lahat sila nag-aaral.
Yeah. So, kanya-kanya kami na encourage sa each other.
Pinaka-mahirap na experience na naranasan mo being a nurse sa UK. Naka-experience ka ba ng parang na-feel mo na sa sarili mo, oh, shock, di ba? Parang, why I need to do this? Maybe discrimination experiences or something like na-experience mo na parang, bakit ko pa ginagawa to? Dapat uwi na lang ako sa Pilipinas.
Yeah, may mga mahirap na challenges. Pero I don't think any challenge has yung parang nag-lead sa akin na mag-isip na uwi na lang ako. I will give up. Wala naman.
Yeah, okay.
Thank God.
Okay.
Siguro kasi yung willpower ko talaga.
Okay.
Paano pag-uwi ako? What will happen to me? Parang ganun. So, marami ding challenges like
so, ano yung pinakamahirap na na-overcome mo at paano mo na-overcome yun? Kung meron ng pinakamahirap.
Siguro before, yung nag-work ako sa floor, parang yung minamaliit ka ng mga pasyente.
Yeah. Okay.
May isang beses na, ito talaga, napaiyak niya ako kasi...
Yun eh. Yung tipo, umiyak ka na dahil you feel something like really bad, maybe, or maybe discriminated nga, yun na yung
parang
comparison. Ganun. Or, tapos, para sa'yo, ginagawa mo naman yung best mo eh, di ba? Tapos ba't ganito yung in return?
Di pala.
Which is part ng part ng journey. But then obviously to overcome that kind of things, marami makaka-resonate eh. Kasi kung nangyari sa'yo yan, I'm sure doon sa ibang mga nurses, nangyayari din yan.
Yeah, for sure.
So, ang sa akin, ang gusto kong mapulot na aral natin dito is that paano mo dapat malagpasan yun, di ba? Parang, kasi minsan may pinagdadaanan yung mga ibang nurses na kung yung napagdaanan mo, so ano yung magiging advice mo para malagpasan nila yan?
Siguro, talk to someone. You can talk to a friend, to your manager. Yeah, get some help. Maraming tulong dito if you feel na may namubuli sa'yo or parang ini-intimidate ka ng isang pasyente. Pwede kang kumausap ng colleague mo para lang ma-vent out mo. And then, after that, kung wala mang nangyari, then you have to escalate it. Maraming tulong ang UK. Unlike sa Pinas, medyo limited lang ang resources natin. Dito, ang dami. So,
at saka talaga binibigyan nilang panahon yan kapag may complaints in terms of especially of treatment sa inyo. Being a nurses and everything. So, nakalagay actually sa mga boards sa hospitals, di ba? Na pagka hindi kayo tinitreat ng maayos, you can actually walk away. Yeah. Just, because that's your rights.
Yeah, zero tolerance against abuse.
Diba? Which is great.
Yeah.
So, in terms of salary, diba, from Pilipinas, which is, didn't you mention the number? How much was it? That was about 20,000, correct? So, yung unang sweldo mo sa UK, kung naalala mo, first salary, obviously magkano?
I would say 1,200
pounds. A month. Which is then, if is it the exchange rate that time, maybe 100 or something, it could be...
No, siguro nasa 70.
Which is so much better than 20,000 in the Philippines, right? But then obviously, ang kapalit noon is yung homesick mo, di ba? So, namimiss mo yung pamilya mo and everything. So, ano yung pinanghuhugutan mo para magtuloy-tuloy lang yung laban? Nung nandito ka na, obviously wala ka pang asawa nung nandun pa si boyfriend sa Pilipinas, di ba? Tapos yung family, ikaw lang mag-isa or may kasama ka dito?
Ako lang mag-isa. With the
friends?
Friends.
Okay.
Na-meet ko na lang din dahil ka-work ko sila.
Okay. Yung mga pinagdaanan mong experiences na sinasabi mo nga, marami ding hardship, di ba? Maraming hirap din talaga pinagdaanan. Para makarating ka dyan sa gusto mo, obviously ginusto mo din na makarating doon. Kung mayroon kang advice na mabibigay sa kanila doon sa mga nagsisimula na nurses na makakapanood ng video, ano yung advice mabibigay mo sa kanila?
I think ang advice na bibigay ko is just to keep a work-life balance. Do not spend most of your time sa work kasi mabu-burn out ka.
Yeah.
So, hanapin mo yung mga nakapagpapasaya sa'yo na mga bagay and then spend some time on it. Like, for me, I do physical exercise.
Yes.
It helps with your mental health as well.
Okay.
Especially sa work, maraming pressure. Apart from that, physically, you're fit to do your job. And also, para siyang when you do something that you love, parang hindi mo ma-feel na burdened ka.
Exactly.
So work-life balance, that's what I can.
Very important, diba?
Yeah.
So sa akin kasi, obviously exercises is one of the things, but then obviously if you do that kind of in a regular basis, it become discipline na magiging routine mo na yun. So, para sa'yo ba, gano'n ka-importante yung balance yan? Tama yung sinasabi mo kasi, obviously, you guys do cycling, do runnings, and a lot of stuff.
It's very important kasi you have to think of yourself as well. You age as time goes by, and then pag work ka na lang ng work, you don't realize ang dami mo palang na-miss sa buhay.
Exactly.
Yung ganun. So, parang I would say enjoy the garden, smell the flowers. Look at the butterflies, wag mong puro trabaho lang.
Ano yung nabibigay siya ngayon nung nandito ka na? Kasi dito sa UK, lahat sila, di ba? You have 28 days a year, annual kind of things. You can do what you want to do with those things. Which is sa Pilipinas, minsan, wala tayo nun masyado, di ba? So apart from obviously bank holidays. But then sa'yo, ikaw, ano yung nabibigay na sa'yo na na-achieve mo na, ika nga, na gusto mong tama yung sinasabi mo, importante yung balance ng things. Travel-wise, na nagagawa mo na ba yung gusto mong gawin ngayon? Na mag-travel ka at least, di ba? Hindi man sa labas ng UK, maaaring other side of UK.
Yeah. Traveling, oo, thank God na nakarating ako dito. Kung hindi ako nakarating sa iba't ibang part ng Europe.
Yeah.
It's easy to travel here. May mga flights na mura.
Exactly, yeah.
Back when I started as a nurse here, mas mura pa ang flights noon. So, my first year, pagdating ko pa lang dito, nakapunta na ako ng Paris after 3 months.
Okay.
And nag-bus lang kami noon. So,
diba?
Yeah,
sarap lang. Diba? Parang nasa Europe ka lang tapos, obviously, yung mga benefits being now, obviously, you're converted to citizen or to citizen. So, isang napakasarap na pribilehiyo na mga Pilipino na makapag-travel nang hindi masyadong hassle yung pagkuha ng visa. Pag may passport ka na kasi parang you can just buy the ticket and you just go anytime you want. Parang ganun. So, isa yun sa mga benepisyo na nakukuha natin. Tama?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, in terms of ngayon, nandiyan ka na sa position na masasabi mong, ano ba yung next level after niyan?
I did not want to apply in this position. Parang umalis lang yung manager namin and then parang ako daw ang mag-replace sa kanya temporarily.
Yeah.
So, ang temporary na naging permanent. I don't think I want to go higher.
Than this one what you have now?
Kasi baka wala na yung work-life balance. Ibang level na stress na naman.
Okay.
So it's very stressful to become a manager kasi you have to deal with a lot of people, culture, attitude.
Absolutely.
So,
and
I think
in
I'll
terms
stay
of
here.
now, so you think that's the highest you wanted to go in terms of career? In terms of business kind of stuff, did you ever think about, kung mayroon ka pagkakataon, naipon mo na yung pera na gusto mo ipunin, mayroon ka ba plano as in, obviously you cannot work, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to work as a nurse forever, but ikaw ba kung may pagkakataon, bigyan ka ng negosyo, anong negosyo gagawin mo? Kunyari, nakuha mo na yung ipon na gusto mong gawin, may bala ka ba magnegosyo?
So I think I would support my husband full time.
Photography.
So yung photography and videography niya.
Okay.
Kasi iba din ang satisfaction and it's a good business.
So you are into that kind of hobby of photography as well?
Yeah.
Kung gagawin mo yun, kasi obviously in terms of businesses, di ba, parang you have to take actions things, di ba? Parang in your career ngayon, nakikita ko, na naabot mo na yung gusto mo gawin and you never think about going higher than that. So in terms, para sa akin, may tama ba na you have to invest to yourself to pursue the photography side of it?
Yes.
If you wanted to go that way?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mayroon kang interest gawin yun?
Yeah. So at the moment, I am working alongside with him from time to time as a backup na photographer or videographer.
Yes.
So I can do both. Pero basic pa lang yung, medyo basic pa lang yung skills ko.
But then, kasi anything that's technical, you can
So
learn.
yun.
You can learn.
Yeah.
But then obviously, the artistic kind of it is a gift.
It's a
in
gift.
my opinion. Diba?
Yeah.
So in terms of obviously technicality of learning how to use the camera, that's the technical aspect of it, which is you could learn. The only thing for me, in my opinion, kasi yung pag nandiyan ka na sa creative side of it, which is different from nursing, di ba? Pero kung mayroon na nararamdaman mo, actually hindi eh. Kung gusto mong matuto, tapos gusto mo talagang ginagawa at may enjoy mo, I think that's another journey that you could learn along the way. Tama ba?
Yeah.
At the moment, sabi mo nga, basic knowledge of basic skills yung alam mo. In order for you to enhance, I think, ano yung sa tingin mo na iisip mo gagawin mo in the next 5 years? Kasi obviously, 5 years significant yan. Kasi si Jan full-time na sa ngayon, di ba? So he could potentially, who knows? I mean, obviously, the things with business, people don't realize, di ba? Na pag nilagay mo na yan dyan, people thinks about, kunyari, restaurant. It doesn't mean na pag nilagay mo na yung restaurant dyan, pupunta na yung mga tao para kumain. Hindi ganun eh. So same thing with the photography. If nandiyan na yung product, you have to still work hard in order for you to sell that services to people, di ba?
Yeah, agree.
Doon na.
Realistically, I don't think so. Not yet. Kasi I think, my plan to be a nurse is gonna be maybe until 5 to 10 years. We'll see. 5 years if okay na ang earnings.
Well, like I said, kasi para sa akin, in order for you to judge in terms of income, kasi ano yan eh, dapat kasi yung skill is nandoon na. But then obviously, it doesn't mean that you have to stop being a nurse.
Yeah.
Oh, di ba? So ano yung ginagawa mo ngayon? So the fact that you started already assisting him, I think you could just keep doing that and then just keep learning in between.
Yeah.
And then if you feel that you're actually there in terms of skills, di ba? Skill set yun eh. I-build mo yung skill set na yun eh. Di ba? Para sa akin, yung 10 years, kung gusto mo maging nurse, parang yung tama din naman yun. Walang mali doon, di ba? Pero yung 5 years, medyo hindi mangyayari.
Parang hindi pa.
Okay.
Kasi we still have plans.
Okay. Which is good. I mean, planning is always a good thing. And then, do you write goals in terms of writing a goals ba sa buhay?
Hindi ako mahilig magsulat, but I just keep like a imaginary vision board in my head. Yun.
Okay. Kung para sa akin ako tatanungin, obviously I would highly recommend and suggest, and this is a friend advice. If you really wanted to go there, that's the only way, is just take actions towards whatever you want to do. Kasi parang ikaw, di ba? Parang hindi mo naman ginusto maging manager, but then you end up as being a award manager. Di ba? Parang at the end, you're gonna love it or you're gonna quit being a manager. Kasi obviously, the higher position you will get, that's more responsibility and it's more stressful, di ba? Pero money-wise, income-wise, it's gonna go up for sure. Di ba? So ngayon, pinakamahirap na pagdaanan, ako yung muna nga, at ano pa yung isang, kung mayroon kang word of wisdom para sa mga nanonood, ano yung mabibigay mo? O isang word of wisdom na pwede mong iwan o ibahagi sa kanila? Pwede mag-isip, pwede namang
I mean, as for me siguro, it's not bad to keep parang earning money or, you know, to be financially rich.
Yeah.
But also you have to think of being wealthy in experience.
Yes.
In peace of mind, important kasi yun. Kasi if your mental health is affected, wala na silbi yung pera mo, di ba? Or if you are sick sa kakatrabaho mo, paano mo pa ma-enjoy yung pera mo?
Exactly. So, gano'n ka-importante, isa sa'yo, how do you define success? I mean, obviously, you can be successful not so much money, because you're successful because you're you know, so many things.
Yeah.
How do you define success?
It's very subjective. But for me lang, success is being able to live a life wherein you find joy. Peace of mind is very important. And you are able to experience life, kumbaga, to the fullest. that you can, at saka wala kang regrets later on na hindi ko to na-try because I did this.
Tell us about the transition, those two things.
So, if you want to start talaga, sa healthcare assistant talaga ako nag-start from here, and then naging band 5 nurse, which is like a junior staff nurse, then naging band 6 nurse, which is a senior staff nurse.
Okay.
And then after that, naging deputy ward manager ako for a certain time, and then bumalik sa pagiging band 6, and then later on, I think nakita ng manager ko yung potential. So she opened it up to me that this is a good opportunity for you to explore.
Nice.
So sa simula medyo hesitant ako kasi magma-manage ka ng ibang lahi. That's very difficult.
So doon bilang ngayon isang ward manager, gaano kahirap? Ilang tao yung hinahawakan mo ngayon? So
20 plus.
Managing those 20 people underneath you, di ba? So being ikaw yung nagli-lead sa kanila. Gaano kahirap, especially multicultural people? Ano yung mga challenges na sa tingin mo parating, parang may ganun ka sa sarili mo, hindi pala madali ito ah. So, ano yung mga sa tingin mo nagiging ordinaryong problema na parang, well, obviously ngayon nalalagpasan mo na yan eh. Pero kung gusto ko lang may i-share na lessons, di ba, na parang, para lang din ma-enlighten yung mga nurses na gusto rin makapunta sa position mo ngayon, na pwede nilang ma-experience to eventually kapag nakarating sila doon. Ano yung sa tingin mo nagiging mga challenges mo sa on the daily basis?
Maraming challenges, individual and cultural differences, may mga conflicts.
Yes.
So you have to settle this, patient complaints as well. So another thing is ano ba to? May mga staff na hindi magkasundo.
Yeah.
Well, in my ward, I'm fortunate enough na okay naman yung culture namin.
Okay.
Because we started like that, and then kung sino yung sasali, parang namomold sila into that helping culture.
Okay.
So it's very challenging kasi hindi ka nauubusan ng problema.
Everyday talaga.
Pag na-sort out yung isa, may darating na isa. So it's like that.
So paano mo na-overcome to? Sa tingin mo, ano yung nagdadala na isang sekreto na masasabi mo, just being a leader to lead this team, di ba? Parang malaking ano yun, sa shoulder mo nakapatong eh. So ano yung isang sa tingin mo na paghahawakan mo na being resilient, ika nga, dito sa position na to?
So you have to be resilient, that's one thing. You have to have a good emotional stability. Kasi pag wala ka nun, you will be affected by the stress of your staff. Kasi sila, alam mo lahat ng problema ng staff mo. Kanya-kanyang problema, but sila hindi mo alam yung hindi nila alam yung problema mo. So, i-absorb mo lahat yun. So, you have to be resilient and you have to put boundaries. Siguro, I would say, wag mong dalhin sa bahay.
Yung problema sa hospital.
Maglagay ka ng compartment. Oh, this is my compartment for work. This is for family. Para hindi maapektuhan yung partner mo or yung children mo.
So, ang sekreto, just ano ba? Ano ba yung pwede mo gawin para, for example, may mga obviously European people na nurses din. Kasi hindi lang naman Pilipino lahat yung nasa ilalim eh.
Yeah, marami talagang lahi.
Huwag ka ibang kultura. Tapos, obviously ngayon, wow, Pilipina ngayon yung nandun sa taas, yung mga puti yung nasa ilalim. Diba? Parang sa kanila, well, diba, sabi ko, multicultural, they understand naman, diba? Kasi lahat naman yan. But then, sa'yo, ano yung pinaka masasabi mong, oy, dapat ganito ko sila itrato din para respetuhin nila ako? Mayroon bang ganon?
You have to be fair, but firm.
Yeah.
So, kung ano yung treatment mo sa mga Pinoy, ganun mo din tratuhin yung iba. And then, wala kang biases. It was difficult for me kasi may mga friends na ako dun before ako naging manager.
Yes.
So, kapareho ko sila ng position before, and then when I became a manager, parang, okay, I have to have a different hat this time.
Tama.
So, you have to be firm and fair sa lahat.
And just follow the rules of this is just a job. No personal thing.
Exactly.
Ganun ka-importante yun. Parang, well, this time, I'm gonna be handling this one, guys. This is just for, even kay kaibigan mo siya.
Yeah,
diba?
You have to explain.
When it comes to work, explain na, oh, it is what it is, unfortunately, but just work.
Yeah, trabaho lang to.
Iba yung separate yung personal life doon sa trabaho. Tama?
Yeah.
Galing.
Mahirap, pero nalulusutan din naman.
Galing. So, anything that you want to include and to say about maybe,
I think
pass on in terms of based on experiences na mayroon ka ngayon? Na pwede pa nating maitulong doon sa mga, mai-share sa kanila. Ano ba yung meron?
So, Pinoy naman tayo. So, we are known as hard workers. Nakikita na nila yan. But, I think, just, kung gusto mong umangat pa sa another position, I know not everyone wants to become a manager or to be in higher positions. But if you want to, huwag kang mahiya, be vocal about your opinions as long as it will be for good, makakatulong siya sa organization, and then just don't be shy to show your skills or your potentials. Kasi may mindset tayo ng Pinoy, ayoko ipakita yung skill ko kasi i-abuse lang nila ako. So, sometimes, I mean, most of the time, it's doing a disadvantage on you kasi hindi makikita ng nasa taas na, may potential to siya. We can offer her a different role or ipopromote natin siya. So, yeah, wag kang mahiya. You can ask for advice from your managers or for people na may mga experience na, and be humble, I think. That's very important.
Galing, ang galing na. So, in terms of ito, pag nakarating ka doon, apart from obviously nagdaan ka sa mga courses para makarating doon, hindi ka agad ba, kunyari nakuha mo na yung mga requirements o qualification na to be a sister. May layer pa ba yun ng isa na bago ka makarating doon? Kahit natapos mo na yung educational side of it? Para ma-qualify ka, para ma-hire ka na ng... If you know what I mean?
Actually, hindi naman...
Kasi parang sa akin, kunyari, nagawa mo na yung mga course, di ba, na kailangan, requirements in terms of education side of the thing, di ba, yung lahat ng trainings and everything. Pero lahat kayong candidates kasi hindi lang naman ikaw yung nag-aaral, ang dami nyo di ba? To be able to be chosen, ito yung may potential, ito yung kunin natin. So maybe may mga nauna pa sa'yo na nakarating matapos yung course na yun o yung trainings na yun. Pero naunahan mo sila ma-promote. Tama ba? Tama ba yung analysis ko doon? So may mga kasabay ka na nag-aaral din at parehas kayo nag-training, di ba? When you finish those studying stuff o yung para makarating ka doon sa gusto mong marating, doesn't mean na pag natapos mo na yun, automatic magiging manager ka. No. May dadaanan ka pang isang layer pa para mapili ka nila na ito yung taong pwede. Tama ba?
So interview ka talaga. Okay. You have to go through an interview, and then yung interview may presentation pa ngayon, so you will be asked to present a certain topic.
Apart from the course, diba? So
apart from the course. Ang course naman is not mandatory kasi ang tinitingnan nila is yung experience mo.
Okay.
So, yun.
Galing.
Experience and how you do in the interview.
Kunyari, nakarating ka dito, hindi ka naman registered din sa Pilipinas. Pero healthcare assistant ka rito, na gusto mong maging nurse dito sa UK, registered nurse. Pwede ba yan?
Posible talaga.
So, ano yung mga kailangan nila gawin?
The first thing is mag-enroll sila to a nursing na
you have to study
course. You have to study the course.
Pero it doesn't mean na 4 years na course.
Kasi dito 3 years lang. Okay. And then you don't have to do it straight away yung 3 years. Pwede mong putol-putulin.
Government fund ba yan kung pag-aral ka?
So sa Scotland siguro they can be funded, pero sa England wala na. They've removed the funding.
Okay. So you have to
fund yourself or student loan if may ILR or British citizenship ka na.
So you could actually
do that. Yeah. And then you can become a nurse. I've known na mga HCA namin dati na nurses na sila ngayon, and they're very successful.
So I think that's very important enlightening to all those people that wanted to become a nurse in here. So may chance.
Meron.
Malaki.
Kailangan lang ng magsipag. Yeah.
Galing. So maraming salamat ulit, Jo, sa pagkakataon at sa oras na binigay mo sa amin. So ngayon gusto ko lang sa mga kapanood, obviously marami nakapanood, share natin sa Facebook mo to and everything. So, gusto ko lang bumati ka sa mga kaibigan na makakapanood ng video sa pamilya mo sa Pilipinas. Just say something for them.
Sa mga pamilya ko sa Pilipinas, my parents, hello sa inyo, and sa lahat ng mga aunties, uncles, relatives. Kumusta kayo dyan? I'm here sa UK. Healthy naman. So good so far. To all my colleagues sa St. John and St. Elizabeth Hospital, hello sa inyong lahat. And I hope na sumubaybay din kayo sa channel ni Vic Rivero. And also, I'd like to take this opportunity to promote our business, my husband's business, John Mark Padillo Photography and Videography Service. So if you are in need of wedding, photo, video services, or any other events, we are happy to be of your service.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Saan kanila mahanap? Saan kanila mahanap? So kung mayroon silang gusto, especially sa photography, baka may mga narcissist na makakanood, na ikakasalo and everything, just take this opportunity as to find your husband, obviously.
So you can find us on Facebook, John Mark Padillo Photography, or Instagram, John Mark Padillo Photo. So,
Wonderful.
Yun po.
Maraming salamat. At again, na-appreciate namin yung time na binigay mo. It's just very last minute. And I'm so grateful and na-share natin yung story mo. So this is gonna be, a big milestone for us as well to share your story.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I do appreciate your time and effort.
You're welcome.
So, maraming salamat mga kababayan at sa oras na pinagkulob niyo sa amin, at sana po ay may napulot kayong aral sa episode na to, at please subscribe and share our channel. Support us po. Salamat!